September 11th is a day that will forever go down in history. The events that happened on that day were indeed horrific, but many good things did come from it. On September 11th, 2001, 4 planes were hijacked by terrorists and over 3,000 people died. This included firefighters, police officers, emergency response teams, and everyday normal citizens. I was in the state of New York when everything happened, and ever since have been very fascinated by the events. I've done many reports, papers, and assignments on the day. From all that I have read, I gather that the events of 9/11 were awful and it was a horrible attack, but it was something that brought the nation together. It affected almost everyone, and almost everyone came out to help. The first 2 hijacked planes crashed into the World Trade Center towers in New York City. The third crashed into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. The 4th plane crashed into a field in Pennsylvania without ever reaching its initial destination. This destination is still unknown to this day, but there are many theories that it could have been headed towards the White House in Washington, D.C. Although it all started at 8:45 on a clear Tuesday morning. The first plane came out of the clouds and crashed into the North Tower at about the 80th floor, initially killing hundreds of people and trapping even more on the levels above. 18 minutes later, another plane came out of the sky and hit the South Tower. After about an hour and a half, the tower fell. Immediately, all the roads and bridges and tunnels in and out of New York City were shut down. Officials were afraid that there could be another bomb trying to come in or one going out. The only way to get off Manhattan Island was by boats, so the National Coast Guard went on the air and called that every available boat start going to the coast, taking citizens, and leaving the island. Immediately, the coast was surrounded by tugboats, ferries, and even people on their personal boats that just wanted to help. Many things changed after September 11th, starting with security on planes. For months after the attack, many Americans refused to fly on planes and took things such as trains or drove. Many people of the Arab background still have to go through multiple security stands for no reason when flying. Ahmed, a small businessman from Clayton, North Carolina, was traveling back from a little family vacation. He left Yemen hoping to have a 16-hour flight back to North Carolina. He got caught up for 8.5 hours in security in Chicago just because he looked Muslim. Him and his family had to sit for 8 hours going through questioning and security all over a stereotype. This was one of the bad things that came out of September 11th. Everyone in the city with rescue skills, such as EMS workers, doctors, firefighters, policemen, etc., all rushed out to help anyone that they could. There were people going into the buildings, dragging people out, risking their lives to save another. The events of 9/11 were awful, and some of the outcomes, such as the new security and the stereotypes, were very bad things. But overall, it showed that people do step up in a time of need and take care of others. September 11th is a day that will forever go down in history and be lived out by the loved ones who lost family members.